Hi, and welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be touching on hair relaxers and the other trends that I've been seeing, such as black hair fatigue and all this other stuff that's like stupid. This don't make sense to me, but it's obvious. The self-hate in our own community has run rampant. I am on a natural hair journey myself. I'm usually on camera, but my Wi-Fi is trash. If you have Xfinity, like I don't know how you doing it because they just been trash. But anyway, on this channel, we have tough talks, difficult conversations, things that people aren't really talking about from a biblical truth perspective, things that people aren't really saying about these topics. Okay, if that sounds like something you're interested in, feel free to stick around, hit that like button, subscribe. I also have a book out, Value Your Virtue. Title speaks for itself, and another book if you melanated and expecting. Even if you're not, there's a lot of plans, plots of the pharmacia companies, the government that's try to come after Eves, try to come after Black women. It's not going to be the book about how to, change a baby or anything like that, but it's going to have the things that you can't really talk about on the internet in there. So if you want to show your support and get edified, you can check out the links. But I ran across this video, the hair relaxer comeback no one saw coming. Why are naturals going back? And it's really funny because there have been multiple hair videos that I have seen of women actually going back to relaxers, quote unquote. I personally, I could be wrong. I think using relaxer in form of perms, whatever cases, because we all heard about what happened with perms, at least, and if you don't know, essentially perms cause cancer, ovarian cancer at an alarming high rate. But if you ask a cosmetologist, they'll say that relaxers and perms are different. But I feel like it's kind of a cop out to use a relaxer and say, oh, okay, well, at least I'm not using perm, I'll use a relaxer. But relaxers, perms, keratin treatments, they all have chemical compounds that cause some type of what is it, formaldehyde. Okay, and I'm not an expert, but I'm just using common sense, research, and experience. Like, the stuff isn't, formaldehyde is not good for you. Like, that's what it produces. Formaldehydes are a major contributor to what causes cancer. Okay, and all of these things are built up off of insecurity. Now I'm gonna play this video and see what they're talking about, see the numbers. This creator is Melanin Archives. Okay, I do not know this person, I don't know these people, or whatever the case is. I'm just reacting to content. I'm going to push up the playback speed, have it go quicker. I'm gonna play the video and then I'm going to speak in between it.
Usually, there's a set of medical trends we've come to normalize in Black communities. For example, reports state that over 80% of Black women will develop uterine fibroids. We're twice as likely to experience infertility and breast cancer. Well, we're 40% more likely to die from it regardless of our age. When questioned, medicine often gives no clear answer. It's genetic. It's just more common in your population. And the conversation usually ends there.
Right. Yeah. If y'all ever been to the doctor and the doctor talking about something is just common amongst Black people, you have to remember, okay, God lets us know in Deuteronomy that are going to be a mockery, okay, a byword amongst all of the nations. That's why it just baffles me how the common sense isn't commenting when these facts are brought up. Like, who's the nation that everyone hates? But when we say, oh, we're chosen, even our own people scoff and laugh because they hate themselves. They don't look at reality. They don't look at common sense, aka discernment, the truth of everything. They rather just throw it off on somebody else, like, oh, it can't be Black people. But when you go to the doctors, they just automatically assume that's just in our genetics because we're trash, we're not anything, whatever the case is, because everybody hates us. No, the truth is, the ones who get hated on the most, okay, your haters are gonna always have your name in their mouth, and they're always going to just try to create some type of situation where it's just because you're Black. Like, what? But anyway, let me push forward.
But alongside these conditions, another pattern runs parallel, almost unnoticed and covertly correlated. A $1 billion industry built around the promise of transformation. You see, hair relaxers were its crown jewel, heavily marketed to Black girls and women for decades. At one point, 9 out of 10 black women use them, and most before they turned 12.
Side note, I do not condone the use of AI.
These relaxers contain known endocrine disruptors: paraben, phthalates, formaldehyde. The thing is, most of
Mm,
our so called beauty products actually contain compounds that are restricted or banned in cosmetics and even in
mm.
pesticides. Yet still, they're
Like, how many of y'all out there had relaxer in your hair or perm in your hair when you were like 6, 7? I could raise my hand because, and you know, like our parents tried. We didn't have the internet like how we have it now back then. And even though we still have the internet, we know that there are people that don't really do research or know about things and just don't even, you know, think twice about it because there's a veil over this society. But even as looking back as a little girl having that, I don't know if I was the one that was like, cause they had the little cute girl on there looking put together, like, you know what I'm saying? They knew what they were doing when they marketed that. And come to find out, a lot of those girls say they didn't even have the product in their hair and that they were natural. Now, obviously, not like natural. They had to do something to their hair to straighten it or whatever the case is, but they didn't have any chemical treatment in their hair. And it probably was all of them. Like, for whatever reason, maybe the parents was like not trying to do that or whatever, but they didn't even have the product in their hair. That's like false advertisement. But anyway, that says something. And a lot of them, or one of them, I don't know if it was one of them or a lot of them, but came out and said that they didn't even have the product in their hair. They brainwashed many of us from our youth. You know what I mean? From the time that we enter into the world. When you're a child, when you're a youth, you're just trying to figure out this world. You're trying to figure out what is what. You know what I'm saying? That's what they've done since the slavery days. They marketed being closer to white as being a good thing, and then they treated anyone closer to white with certain privileges. And then they look like, when you try to bring it up, they scoff and they're mad at you or they hate you for it or whatever the case is, or they think you're a hater, when in reality you're just pointing out the reality of the situation.
present in products that are designed specifically for us. It often seems as though it has just become a part of our culture. And then the data started to confirm the suspicion. Scientific articles were published showing the correlation between relaxer use.
It says hair strengtheners and relaxers may be harmful to health. Here's how to make them better. Black women harmed by toxins in hair relaxants. 25-year long study of Black women linked frequent use of lye-based hair relaxers to a higher risk of breast cancer. Hair relaxer use and risk of uterine cancer in Black women's health studies. So when they say this 25-year long study and everything and all these different studies, they already knew. Chances are, I'm just going off of speculation, but based off of the world that we are in, we've always been used as an experiment. We've always been experimented on. It's been, I meant to say Tuskegee experiments. We've always been documented. 2020 was another experiment that was like throughout the whole society, but it all stems from the Black man and the Black woman. So that's just the facts of the situation. Because why we are that nation, the chosen ones who are hated amongst all nations.
And a multiplicity of medical issues that plague the Black community, Black women in particular. Some results highlighted that frequent relaxer use is linked to a 30% increase in breast cancer risk and more than double the risk of uterine cancer. After this, relaxer use declined by nearly 40%. Health awareness rose and natural hair gained ground. But in recent years, this trend is steadily reversing. The global hair relaxer market, valued at 717 million in 2021, is projected to exceed 839 million by 2029. The same formulas,
Wow.
the same messaging, and it is still marketed to us. But now, one thing is different. We can't say we didn't know.
And it's crazy that this creator is bringing it up because I literally just saw like a whole bunch of Black women creating this a trend of women who are hating their own hair. So I'm going to go to another video. All right, this is another creator. It says Black, another creator, Janae Danielle. Okay, I'm also going to link this video in the description if you just want to watch it without the commentary. But this is interesting to see the correlation like between the other video and how it's on I saw this video before I saw that last video I showed you just now. A correlation between how relaxers are going in an up spike instead of going downwards. And Black women are turning hair hate into a trend. There was another video I saw on another creator's platform that I'm going to show you. Like, the insecurity that is around our type hair and saying that, oh, black hair is hard and this, that, and the third, I truly do. I think that's another cop out, because there are like, it's not ever really about the maintenance or taking care of your hair. I'm not saying that it's not hard. I have 4 type hair. I'm not saying that it's not hard to take care of our hair. Like, yes, the detangling process, growing up and crying because of the knots and this, that, and the third. But women are willing to do hard things for beauty, for attention. Okay, really for attention. For men. So, if our hair was adorned, if our hair was the epitome of beauty, which it is, but this world that we live in puts a veil, has the Satan, the opposition, has a vendetta out for us to advertise and make sure that we are put in a situation where we don't have any confidence, where we don't know our history. God already explained everything in Deuteronomy 28. Our God is merciful and wonderful, and he gave us, our ancestors, chance after chance after chance. He took them out of Egypt, and they just would not listen. I mean, what can I really say? It's crazy. Read your Bible. King James Version has the truth in it. And this is what happens out of disobedience. But the 400 years is up, y'all, and the wealth transfers are happening, confidence is happening, the wonders and beauties are happening. We just have to instill in our daughters the truth. Okay, instill in our daughters the truth. I don't think women are reaching for relaxers because their hair is quote unquote too hard. I think it is you succumbing to the pressures of society. Honestly, that's what it is, because that has been the plan since the beginning, and they knew through their algorithmic metric system of self-hatred propaganda that they could win in advertising by advertising straight hair, okay, advertising looser curls, feeding off of our insecurity. So I'm going to let this video play a little bit just to see some of the stuff that I'm talking about, and then we're going to skip to another video that I'm sure you have seen about this girl. And it's crazy because she does other things on financial metrics, but when I saw what was happening with her, like, I'm just like, wow. And then also it's giving another group of people that is our people, but ammunition and fuel for their own pride. Okay, so let's press play.
I've been crashing out for the past like 20 minutes or so because I feel so ugly right now without my sew-in.
Y'all are legit in this girl's comments saying how y'all could never, ever, ever.
She said, frying my 4C natural hair for the 10th time because I literally do not care anymore. And the crazy thing is, when I was 17, I used to straighten my hair every day. And it wasn't because I hated my hair. Not at least knowingly. It was because I had these clip-in tracks. It's not like tracks, but like clip-in extensions. The ones the white girls wear. They're like individual sweeps or whatever the case. I don't know the terminology anymore. I haven't wore a wig, anybody else, Indonesian hair, nobody else's hair but mine for years. But essentially, my hair would love moisture and just would keep frizzing up, and I wouldn't sleep with a bonnet. That was my fault too. But I would straighten my hair every day simply because of lack of knowledge. Okay, back then we didn't really have. I can't believe I'm saying back then. It wasn't that long ago, but we didn't really have like the natural hair YouTube. We didn't really have like a lot of girls talking about hair care. I was just stepping into doing my own hair myself because, your mom does your hair. So it's just interesting that she's just doing it because she just
legit in this girl's comments saying how y'all could never, ever, 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 never, ever, ever wear a hair texture that matches your hair texture. That means you hate your hair.
If you were born with hair in the 3s, then you should literally just thank God.
That's her. I'm gonna show her whole video. This girl, hold up, not
hair
her.
In the 3s, then you should literally just
her. And she do financial content, so it's just like, and then she's saying you should just thank God. Like, dad.
Thank God.
I especially can't stand no bald head girl.
She said, if I had a bald head baby, my baby definitely getting some braids.
Especially if the hair is 4C. I'm sorry.
I'm tired of it. I'm about to put a relaxer, texturizer, something.
Are hiding this one thing. They hate their hair.
Now, I tried to give the girls the benefit of the doubt. I swear I really did. 2 months ago, I made a whole video on how Black men, not all, just some, don't appreciate type 4 hair as much as they say. And let me tell you, I was dragged through the digital dirt for that video. Y'all, there were grown men making 30-minute long exposés on me. The comments in those videos, I had men calling me out of my name. And I took it like a champ because I understand that there are a lot of women who have experiences of men not appreciating.
I just noticed that she said grown men was doing exposés on her, but I mean, you just did an expose on the same situation. So everybody allowed to do whatever they want to do on it. It's the internet. But, you know, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother video. But to call her out her name, that's doing too much though.
Their type 4 hair, and I wasn't going to downplay their experience just for the girls to turn around and openly admit that they hate their 4C hair. So I got crucified just to find out that some of y'all are the co-captains for the anti-4C club. Today, we're not bashing Black women for wearing wigs, changing up their hairstyle, and all that jazz. No, this video.
Dag, I just peeped what she's saying, but again, that's gonna be for a whole nother video. But why is it bashing when you trying to tell somebody some factual situation? Because I mean, wearing wigs and stuff like that is supporting evidence to why they hate their hair. It's like contradictory. Like, why does it gotta be all of that? Why can't you just be telling somebody something? You ever notice when it comes to wigs, they want to go hard to defend their wigs so much, but when it comes to that's a whole nother topic. And if you don't already know how I feel about wigs on this channel, like, it's witchcraft. There's all this different sorcery that's done by different cultures that hate us, that have put bad energy into these things, and you wonder why you depressed and all that. But again, that's another topic. I do not support wigs, weaves, all of that. Like, we need to be working on our natural hair.
Video is about the women who hate their hair so much they damage it on purpose, look down on other women who do decide to wear their hair out, and act like loving your hair makes you a pick-me.
Right. You know, it's crazy when you wear your hair naturally. You'll be surprised. Black women, and I'm talking all shades. I'm talking about the ones who are quote unquote trying to say that they're labeling themselves something different just so it, but it's all, we're all Black. Like, at the end of the day, if you have whatever type of, we have a host, we are the original, we have the Eve gene, we are the originals, everything comes from. And but anyway, that's a whole nother topic. But those that call themselves exoticals and stuff like that, y'all are giving them like fuel to the fire, because a lot of women put their value in just the way that they look, and which I really do feel sorry for women like that, because you're aging. Yes, melanin ages us slow, which is funny because it's like it's the melanin that is within you that's helping depending, because there's a superior melanin, it goes deep, but the melanin that's in you is actually slowing down your aging. Okay, our skin loves the sun. Okay, but not only that, they're discrediting any type of Black genes that they have, and then y'all out there with 4 type hair are like giving them fuel. Like, I just don't get it. I mean, but then again, I do, because we've been brainwashed for so long since you were a kid. You just have to get out of that mindset. You have to seek that relationship with the Most High. But she basically is talking about another video that she did about Black men not like, which I listen on this channel, because I usually show video, like 99% of the comments that I've gotten from men were good, great comments. Like, literally, there's a video that I did a little while back. I got so much positive reinforcement. I mean, it was really uplifting of the Black men and white men in the comments, okay, about my hair. And I'll put some videos in about my hair. So it's just like when your hair is like, I don't know. I don't know. But then I got one semi-negative comment about my hair. And then it was like Black women came out of the woodworks to go and point that out. Like, oh, you see how you're talking about this topic, but then you're talking about something else. I mean, and shout out to the Black women who were defending and showing love. And, there definitely were those, but don't, get yourself riled up over the negativity, is all that I'm saying. Like, people have demons in them and self-hatred in them. Like, going back and forth with the demons is them trying to waste energy. It's like we try to point out the bad and everything instead of just ignoring the bad, because we already know what type of system we're in since slavery for 400 years. If something has been, plastered in your head for your ancestors through the systems, through the slave systems, now it's a mental bondage that people are in. It's only going to be natural that people are going to come educate where you can and keep it and have a good laugh, because I definitely laughed at myself. Sometimes we just need to laugh at ourselves or just laugh about it. Like, people are taking things that aren't serious too seriously. We need to be seeking the Most High. Pushing, but there are definitely tons of Black men that appreciate our 4-type hair. Okay, the ones that don't, those are the ones you don't need in your life. Let them bask in their self-hatred, because eventually that is going to lead them to someplace. All you can do is just pray for them. Okay, pray that they eventually see the light. But yeah, so I'm gonna continue. I don't know if I'm not gonna watch the whole video. Like I said, I'm gonna link the video in the description. But
so we need to talk about how we even got here, because not too long ago, a few years ago, having natural hair and wearing your curls out was something to be hyped up and excited about. And for a little minute, it seemed like we were finally comfortable just showing up exactly how we look. And don't get me wrong, I know natural hair can be a little all over the place, but regardless of the fact, we still learned how to learn our hair, how to take care of it, and how to love it either way. But y'all, the love is gone and the hate is full force. And I'm not talking about being frustrated and overstimulated on a wash day. I'm talking about full on disgust.
Am I the only one that thinks being a Black girl is so stressful, especially with a Black girl with hair? Okay, hair in particular. Okay, if you had hair, real coarse hair, then you know what I mean. I'm getting tired of wearing it like a bun because I need to change it up. I need to do something, and it stresses me out, and I have a whole breakdown anytime I have my natural hair out. And I'm surprised I haven't had a breakdown yet.
I hate my hair. I hate my hair. I'm like this close to chopping it all off. I hate it. I just want to pull out all my hair. Sometimes I just wish I had just straight hair, or I was like, you know what I mean? I just wish I had straight hair or wavy hair, because I hate my hair.
At this point, we might as well start a smear campaign while we're at it. Because the way some of these women talk about their hair, you'd think it ruined their life. And girl, I get it. There is nothing more frustrating than.
And that's an interesting thing that she just said, because she said that she thinks that they ruined their life. It's crazy, because there's a lot of women out there that will make sure that their youth are not born with 4-type hair or have a looser curl pattern, or they'll date white or whatever the case is, or another nationality, so that they can have a certain hair texture. And that's just the facts of the matter. But you have to admit that this society has made it difficult for people. Like, I remember going to job interviews and feeling like, yo, I cannot just wear my natural hair to a job interview. I have to throw on a wig, something that now that I'm walking in the truth, and I know the truth about wigs and stuff like that, and the industry, and how it's witchcraft, and how it literally is, because the women pray over these. They have full-on ceremonies praying over the wigs, y'all, praying over the hair. When they cut their hair, they letting go of bad juju, whatever they doing. All right, witchcraft. And y'all wearing it on your head, and then you wonder why you hate yourself, and you wonder why you're so insecure, and this, that, and the third. But this is the girl that was on this Exoticals website or whatever, because there's a lot of girls that are on these different websites and stuff like that. So I'm not going to click on the video, but you could see they're only showing, what they deem as unambiguous Black women or whatever cases, but there are definitely racially ambiguous light-skinned women, or whatever you want to say, who are hating their 4-type hair. There was another one, there was a light-skinned girl in the video talking about somehow she light-skinned but has 4-type hair. Like, how hard it is for her. Like, what are we talking about here, y'all? What are we talking about here? And of course, like, what in the first world problems? Obviously, you don't have to be light-skinned you could be a light-skinned, unambiguous Black woman as well. But that's just crazy. That's just crazy. But it was this video that just made me like wonder about. Let me make sure that if you could see.
If you were born with like hair in the threes, then you should literally just thank God, because
this is what slavery, oppression, and all this through the years have brought us to. And I'm about, this video getting kind of long, so I'm about to wrap it up. But it just shows the self-hate. The reality is the reality.
I literally hate my real hair, and I hate my real hair, and I hate that I hate my real hair, and I hate the fact that I don't feel confident with my real hair, the hair that grows out of my head that God gave.
Oh, I hate my hair. Well, what else do you hate? What else do you hate? Do you want to be lighter? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just a self-hate thing. If I just think about it, if it was my sister, like, you wouldn't want to hear your sister talking like this, and especially in this playing field. There's a comment right here that I just took note. This has been irking me. She's allowed to dislike her hair. Who are y'all to tell her otherwise? Listen, this is the internet. Okay, people need to, like, I mean, they don't have to. Your opinion is your opinion. But it's funny when people be going like, "Oh, who are y'all to blah blah blah." But she didn't have to put this on the internet though. And that the internet, when you put something up on the internet, it's fair game, meaning you could, whoever wants to say whatever they want to say, whether you agree with it or not, it's about to be said. And then on top of that, if we were in a fair playing field, if we were in a world that did not put Black women on full display for hate, okay, and Black men, obviously, of course, but I'm just talking about what I know living as a Black woman right now, and in this video at the moment, like, it would be a whole different topic. But there's a reason why this is happening. I'm not going to continue with that video, but I essentially hope you enjoyed the video and like got some type of edification from this. Teach your daughters to love themselves, okay? And I don't mean that in a prideful way. I mean that in a knowing who they are type of way. Seek the Most High, number one, God first. Like, if you know are your history, that's why they try to teach your sons and daughters about slavery first thing in school, to belittle them, to lower their confidence about their ancestors, their past, and that beauty is vain. Like, at the end of the day, like, of course beauty is wonderful. Yes, it comes from God. It's great to have beauty. It's amazing to have beauty. Just make sure they got substance too, please. Self-hate is real, okay? We were playing in a fair playing field where none of this self-hate was any slavery, buck breaking, feeding our babies to alligators because of being Black. If that did not exist, then whatever, she just doesn't like her hair. But we can't ignore where this is coming from. If we lived in a society where four type hair, whatever you want to call it, was the epitome of beauty, that was advertised, that's being advertised, that is put on full front, that is put on full display, that everybody wants, then it will be the straight hair people that will be, oh, you're operating off of self-hate, because we know who the top tier hair people are. You know what I'm trying to say? If that made sense. Okay, this is and always has been a setup, and her hair don't even look bad. Like, you know what I'm saying? She's a very pretty girl. And I've seen her other content, stuff like that. I'm not even going, but she's the tip of her name. Her handle is City Girl. So that should give you an idea. Lace wigged up, multicolored lace wigs and all of that. That's what it is on her page, because she hates herself. Okay, you can't, literally, she's saying she hates herself because she hates her hair. And then what else does she hate? She hates herself. Okay, she hates what is melanated about her, which is really sad. The most important thing that we need to focus on, y'all, is seeking the Most High. We are in the last days. Women are over here hating. That's what Satan wants. He wants you to hate yourself. He wants you to hate your existence. He wants you to yearn off of something. He wants to steal your joy, when in reality, you are you are melanated. You are part of the chosen people. Your blood, like, you have melanin, is a superpower that they use in solar panels. Okay, when they pull out our teeth, which I don't recommend, but when they do pull out their teeth and they don't ask you or tell you if you want the teeth, it's because they're stealing it, because they're harvesting the melanin from our teeth. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you really have to peep. We are more powerful than we think, and they don't want you to know that you're very powerful. They don't want you to know that you're very beautiful. Okay, they don't want you to know any of these things. All that being said, seek the Most High, Bible King JV, open up your Bible, even if it's a few pages a day, even if it's a chapter a day. Talking to myself too, get closer to God, because when Jesus come back, it's not going to be no chances. Okay, yes, you could get saved the last minute, but do you want to take that risk? All right, but God be with you and be blessed.